Kamala Harris, Tim Walz, and J.D. Vance are on the campaign trail hosting dueling events in a battleground state blitz. Harris and Walz drew their biggest crowd yet in Detroit, where Harris tore into the Trump campaign but called off chants to lock him up.
Hold on. You know what? Here, hold on. Here's the thing. The courts are going to handle that. We're going to beat them in November.
Meanwhile, Vance is attacking Walz's military record, seizing on this moment.
And we can make sure that those weapons of war that I carried in war is the only place where those weapons are at.
What was this weapon that you carried into war, given that you abandoned your unit right before they went to Iraq? Do not pretend to be something that you're not.
Now, former President Trump is set to hold a press conference at Mar-a-Lago today. White House correspondent Mary Alice Parks joins me now for more. Mary Alice, how's the Harris campaign responding to these attacks on Walz's military service and that comment about carrying a gun in war when he never actually saw combat?
Yeah, Dan, these are explosive allegations, specifically that language, stolen valor. That language actually can have legal implications. It can be a federal crime to lie about military service. Look, Democrats say that that allegation from Vance just goes way too far. What we know is that Governor Walz, when he was 17 years old, enlisted in the Nebraska National Guard. He later transferred to the Minnesota National Guard. He served 24 years in uniform. He did deploy, but he did not ever deploy to an active combat zone. He retired from the military after 24 years of service in 2005. That was right when the war in Iraq was heating up. Months after he retired, almost immediately after he retired, he announced a run for Congress and ran on an anti-war platform. When he got to Congress, he chaired the Veterans Affairs Committee, and actually his work for veterans is something that the Harris campaign is talking about in their formal response to these attacks from Vance. They went on to say in their comments that in his 24 years of service, the governor carried, fired, and trained others to use weapons of war innumerable times. Governor Walz would never insult or undermine any American's service to this country. In fact, he thanks Senator Vance for putting his life on the line for our country. It is the American way. So you're right, Diane. What we do know is that it is true Governor Walz never was in an active combat zone. But look, one big takeaway for the American voter is that we have two running mates who served in uniform. It was something that for so long was central to our politics, but actually we had sort of gotten away from that in these tickets the last several cycles, but now we have two veterans on both sides running. Diane?
And Mary Alice, Harris, Walz, and Vance have postponed some events in North Carolina due to the weather. So what's next on this battleground state tour for both sides? And what are you watching more for when former President Trump speaks this afternoon?
Yeah, well, really quickly, they are moving all the way across the country. They are finishing their battleground state tour out west. We're going to see both Harris and Walz together in Arizona and then Nevada. This was really sort of a coast-to-coast swing. And then you're right, we know that former President Trump is holding his own press conference later today. Look, we want answers about whether he's going to commit to ABC's debate. Everyone excited and hoping still that that will happen. And also whether he will continue these personal attacks against Harris, personal sort of attacks against Governor Walz, or whether we're going to see Trump again sort of double down on more policy issues, which Republicans have said they think would be a really good idea for Trump to focus on instead. Diane?
White House correspondent Mary Alice Parks, thank you.